Thinking about moving to Fayetteville, Georgia? You might want to rethink that, because today I'm sharing 10 real reasons why Fayetteville may not be the place for you. Some of these may surprise you, and a few may even make you reconsider. But stick around till the end, because despite these reasons, many people still choose to call this area home. And if you're still interested after this list, you might just be the right fit for Fayetteville. Hi, I'm Daphne Bousquet, a local realtor helping people relocate to Fayetteville, Georgia and the surrounding areas. If you're considering a move here, it's important to know both the good and the bad. I want to make sure that you're making an informed decision before you pack up and head south. So let's dive in. One of the biggest reasons Fayetteville might not be the right place for you is the job market. If you're looking for a booming job market with major corporate headquarters, Fayetteville is not the best fit. Unlike Atlanta, which is home to several Fortune 500 companies, Fayetteville doesn't have large-scale employers. The biggest job providers in the area are the Fayette County School System, Piedmont Fayette Hospital, and Trilla Studios. If you're in healthcare, education, or the film industry, you might be in luck. Otherwise, most professionals either work remotely or commute to jobs in Atlanta. And since Fayetteville is on the south side of the city, where traffic is less of an issue, that's not quite as daunting as it seems. An upside is the proximity to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, which is only a 23-minute drive from Fayetteville. This makes it an excellent place to live if you travel frequently for work or work at Delta or at the airport. If you're looking for a city with a lot of job opportunities right in town, Fayetteville may not be your best option. Another thing to consider before moving here is the roundabouts. Now, Fayetteville has been adding more and more roundabouts in an effort to improve traffic flow. In theory, they make driving a lot more efficient. The problem is that many drivers here do not know how to use them correctly. Unlike in Europe, where roundabouts are just the norm, drivers here often hesitate, stop when they shouldn't, or wave people through when they have to right away. And instead of making traffic smoother, it often makes it more frustrating. And if you know how to navigate a roundabout properly, you might find yourself constantly annoyed by the way other drivers handle them. Now, hopefully, the more people get used to them here, they'll be better able to navigate them, and it won't be an issue that much longer. One common misconception about Fayetteville is that it's rural, country town. And while that may have been true about 20 years ago when I moved here, the area has seen tremendous growth. More businesses, shopping centers, and housing developments have been built. And while it's still not as dense as the northern suburbs of Atlanta, it's far from the quiet country retreat that some people expect. Longtime residents often complain about the rapid growth, but for newcomers, it may still feel spacious compared to other metro areas. Now, if you're not turned off yet, download my South Atlanta relocation guide with lots of information about moving here. There's a link in the description, or you can scan this QR code right here. And stay tuned till the end, because the last reason is pretty polarizing. You may love it or hate it. It could even make you angry. But if that reason doesn't put you off Fayetteville, you may actually love living here. Another major drawback of living in Fayetteville is the complete lack of public transportation. If you don't drive, getting around is going to be a challenge. Unlike other parts of Metro Atlanta, there are no buses, no trains, and no rideshare programs designed for everyday commuting. In Peachtree City, just next door, people have the option to get around on golf carts, which is a fun and practical way to travel short distances, go to the grocery store. But Fayetteville doesn't offer that convenience. If you rely on public transportation, Fayetteville is not going to work for you. A car is an absolute necessity here. And speaking of driving, winters here are mild, but when it does snow or ice over, everything comes to a standstill. People in Fayetteville are simply not equipped to handle with winter weather. And since it happens so rarely, twice this season alone, We don't have many salt trucks and roads quickly become dangerous. If you're from a northern state where you're used to driving in snow, you'll probably be shocked at how quickly everything shuts down here. Even a light dusting of snow can lead to school closures, business shutdowns, and people panic buying all the bread and milk at the grocery store. Honestly, I still don't know what people do with all that bread and milk. The infamous Snowmageddon of 2014 had people stranded on highway for hours, even overnight in some cases. So if you move here, just know that even the smallest amount of winter weather can throw everything into chaos. On the topic of weather, severe storms are something you'll have to deal with in Fayetteville as well. Since Georgia sits in an area where warm and cold air frequently collide, we get some intense thunderstorms, especially in late winter and early spring. Sometimes these are just heavy rainstorms, but occasionally they bring hail, damaging winds, and even tornadoes. Just a few years ago, Noonan, which isn't far from Fayetteville, was hit by a tornado that caused massive damage. More recently, Griffin, another nearby town, also suffered a tornado. And while tornadoes don't happen all the time, they are a real threat, and it's something that you need to be prepared for if you live here. And if you suffer from allergies, Fayetteville might make them worse. Every spring, everything outside gets coated in a thick layer of yellow pollen. If you park your car outside overnight, you'll wake up to find it covered. Driveways, sidewalks, and patios all get a yellow tint. It's not just a little dust, it's a full-on pollen invasion. And this is mainly due to the large number of pine trees in the area. And while spring showers help wash it all away, the pollen season can last for weeks. If you have seasonal allergies, you'll want to stock up on allergy medicine because springtime in Fayetteville, although beautiful, can be rough. Summers in Fayetteville are brutally hot and humid, and if you think Georgia summers are mild, think again. Temperatures regularly climb into the high 90s, and with the humidity, the heat index often goes over 100 degrees. Unlike Florida, which benefits from the ocean breezes, Georgia's inland location makes the air feel thick and heavy. I used to live in South Florida and I thought I knew heat, but the first August I spent in Fayetteville was an eye-opener. It was over 100 degrees every single day, and the humidity made it feel even worse. If you love spending time outdoors, summers here will test your limits. And when I show houses in the summer, this is what I look like. It isn't pretty. So if you don't do well with extreme heat, Fayetteville summers can be challenging. And if you love a thriving nightlife scene with clubs and late night entertainment, you'll be disappointed. Fayetteville does have some fun spots like local breweries and the Ville Amphitheater, which hosts concerts. But if you're looking for nightclubs and bars that stay open past midnight, you'll have to drive to Atlanta. If you enjoy a quieter lifestyle like me, Fayetteville's lack of nightlife won't be a problem. My clubbing days are well behind me. But if you want a city that's alive late into the night, you'll likely find Fayetteville too slow-paced. Finally, Fayetteville is a diverse and welcoming community, but if you're looking for a place where everyone looks and thinks exactly like you, this isn't it. The population here is made up from people of all walks of life, and I personally love that. My daughter has friends who live in $1 million homes and friends who live in mobile homes. She has friends who are Black, white, Hispanic, and Asian. And I think that kind of diversity prepares kids for the real world, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But if you're not comfortable in a diverse community, Fayetteville might not be the right fit for you. So, did this list scare you away from Fayetteville, or are you still interested? If you're considering a move, I'd love to help. I've helped dozens of families relocate to Fayetteville, and I can help you decide if it's the right place for you. Download my free relocation guide from the link in the description, or just reach out to me directly. And if you're curious about the pros of living in Fayetteville, check out this next video right here.